Hello and welcome, everyone. This is the Pathcast episode 3. I am your host, Sor Eli, aka Aziz Yunus, aka Bruce Lane. And today, we got a very special episode. We got the whole gang in Discord. I'm gonna go introduce everyone from the top left going. We got Rose, the top left. Then we got Connor, we got Fuzzy, we got Pete, we got Blazin, Nikolai, me, and then Zento. So today's episode is kind of a little, it's going to be interesting. We're going to be talking about a couple things. Mainly, we're going to be talking about raids, what warrants raids, what we're going to try to set clear requirements as to how we should go about raids and what we need to get to, do a raid. So if anyone wants to say anything, first of all, you can go ahead and unmute and say whatever you want to say. Okay, no one's gonna say anything.
I'll just let Crouching Goat know that if he wants Blazing to turn on his camera, he has to go to his Twitch and then spend the channel points.
All right. Anyone else before I just make my point, I guess?
No, go make your points.
All right. Rating is kind of like an iffy subject, I guess, because a lot of people will be like, oh, well, whatever you just got on me is not enough for a raid. But I think there should be like super set requirements. Like if you get this, you can do a raid. And what I think this is it should be at least like, let's say, like, why do we usually raid people? Just to see if they have a lot of illegal items in their house, right? So if we catch people with at least class 2 weapons, like 2 or 3 times at least, I think that should be enough for a raid. Or if we catch them with drugs also 2 or 3 times. So if it's a repeated offense with class 2s, and then because you take it from them the first time and then you catch them again and then you take it again and then you catch them a third time, you're like, oh, all right, well, you probably have a bunch of these. We should probably go check your your apartment or your house. So also the same thing with drugs. If you keep like catching people taking the drugs off, and then next time you catch them they have more drugs, they probably have more in their house or something like that. So I think that should be also enough to raid someone. What do you guys think?
So I'm trying to pull it up, but I believe in the court case document, I actually put what would really constitute a raid occurring. I just need to double check real quick.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, but the points that you brought up, they make sense, right?
Yeah.
If you're constantly getting caught with automatics or like bigger guns, if you're constantly getting caught with all these illegal items, there's a pretty significant chance that you obviously have more if you keep getting caught with them, right?
Yeah.
So that would constitute the raid. And I also think that people need to understand that we're not raiding them to just reset them in a way. It's more or less to build on those storylines, right? Because there's 2 sides to every story, and it's done for a reason, right? We have Fuzzy Bear in this one because there is a lot that needs to get done before we can even consider going for a raid, and that's why he's here. He's going to point out all the different details because there's a lot that needs to happen before we can even get close to doing a raid.
Yeah. So it's actually not really defined in there. It's more for like just typical court case information. But pretty much if you're going to, like they said, if you're going to be using class 2s multiple different times, getting caught with it, you're going to get raided. If you have, like, I think there was a time where somebody got arrested and they had like 20 something firearms on them.
Yeah.
That would be considered distribute or attempt to distribute. Most likely, as long as the police officer actually pushes for that, that could actually institute a raid as well. Another way to get raided is businesses. If you have a business and you're selling, like, I don't even remember what exactly was in that one, Eli, that I came to you about, but I mean, somebody was selling
Yeah, there was like
meth,
oxys,
oxy, several different firearms, thermite, like a bunch of different shit. If you have dumb shit in your stores, you're gonna get raided. But I mean, besides that, it's gonna be there's certain circumstances really where something like that's gonna happen.
All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and write down because I want to like document everything. So I'll just put caught with a class 2. What do you want to do? At least 2 or 3 times?
3 times, or if there's at least 3 class 2 firearms used in one occurrence.
Like in one situation, like if multiple people had a class 2?
Yeah, correct. Like the one we had the other day.
Okay, yes. So if they are part of the same group and we caught them in one situation where multiple people had class 2s, I think that's okay.
See, and that makes it really difficult because, like, the key word that you said there is if they're part of the same group.
Yeah.
Now, the key is having them admit that they're part of the same group.
Yeah, that would just have to go with whatever, because obviously this is full meta, and we have like files on each gang and all that from what we know, like to like possible suspects or possible members and all that. So going off of that, if we like catch those people in the same scenario, using class 2s, I guess we'll do that. So call with class 2s.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's a big thing to talk about too, right? It's obviously going to be very situational because if it's an individual that the cops don't know is affiliated with anybody, obviously it's going to take a lot more to institute a raid. But if we know these individuals are in a gang, right? As Eli said, we have spreadsheets on every single gang in the city for GIU. We know the members, like through RP, we found it all out. So it's going to be pretty difficult to say, oh, I'm not a part of this group, because hey, we know. So that's the other thing too, right? If you're a solo person, it's going to be harder, but if you're in a gang, you have to be more careful, and that's a big thing. That's what happened this past week too.
And don't think just because he's saying, oh, we have information, full meta, obviously, they're still going to have to provide that to the courts, to the judge, to whoever, in order to have that signed off.
Do we want to consider, because I know class 2s are just automatics, do we want to consider 50 cals and heavies as part of that? Or should we just put illegal guns then instead of class 2s?
I mean, technically a 50 cal and a heavy is
a class 1.
Yeah, they're class 1.
But that's still illegal.
Yeah, so should I change it from caught with a class 2 to caught with an illegal weapon?
Why don't you do the class 1 more, like
I would say more than 5 times for a 50 cal.
Okay, class 1. All right, so class 1 will do 5 times.
So the thing is,
now here's the thing. So I remember way back when we first started, is 50 cals and heavies were actually sold at
ammunition. Well, not heavies, just 50 cals.
But they're not now, right?
Yeah, they're not now. Yeah.
So heavies at all times were always illegal. It was just the 50 cals that were
50 cal.
sold at the ammunitions.
So I would always consider heavy as a class 2, and then a 50 as a class 1. Now, since you're not able to buy that at ammunition, I mean, that's up to interpretation.
It changed.
Okay,
so 50,000 heavies are class 1s now, and then all automatics are class 2.
Yes. So Fresh asked a good question. Are we gonna reset this?
I was
after a certain time.
That. It should be. I feel like it should be exactly like the vehicle strike system. It resets every month. Because if you were to do that, because if you look up people's MDT now, they probably have. Some people may have 3 or 4 possession of class 2 weapons.
Class 2s, yeah.
And how are you supposed to know? It's gonna have to be like another channel in the Discord, and then it would you just have to put every single time there was a class 2 weapon and their name. Like that's
then chat was saying mostly they don't want to do it for class 1s. They want to just do it for class 2s.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say the same thing too, right? Because pretty much everyone and their mother has like 5+ 50 cal or heavy pistols of some combination, right? I think if we're gonna, it should be only autos.
Okay.
I don't think it's fair
I'll
to
take
rate
that off
people.
then. I'll take that off then. We'll just do class 2s.
Yeah.
Obviously, like if they have like 10+ on them of a class 1, or even 5+ class 1s on them, then maybe that could be something. But
yeah, well, that's the situation there, right? If they have 7 heavy pistols on their person when they get arrested, that's, as Fuzzy Bear said, intent to distribute.
Yeah,
and what's
we had Blaine, and he had 29 on him, and 1 in his glove box, so actually 30, and we just did nothing. He got a $200 fine, and that was it.
And another thing,
information, I don't know, but
yeah, another thing what Snowy said, also people should remember that raids and court cases, regardless of who wins and loses, is strictly for RP. So nobody should be butthurt over what happens.
Yeah, if you lose stuff, you lose. Like you're gonna get, you can get the stuff back. It's not that, it's not that difficult.
There is so many ways to make money. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Like, not a big deal.
Crudes, Crude said when they do accumulate enough for a raid, what determines what property we raid? All or specific ones. Example, like a business, pin cage, house, store.
That's on the warrant sheet, I'm pretty sure.
I don't think it would be stores or businesses unless the things that are happening are in the business. So I would say it would just be like personal houses or pink cage, because pink cage is technically personal too.
Is there a way for cops to like see who owns what house though?
I think we'd have to subpoena that from the judge, and then the judge would get it from the
Yeah,
government.
I'm able to get that from the government.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in order for a business to be raided, there has to be like some undercover work getting done to find out if, say, drugs are getting pushed out of the business, firearms getting sold out of the business. If you don't have any of that information, I'm not going to approve a business getting raided at all.
Yeah.
But I will always go for like houses and pink cage and hotels and stuff like that.
While we have the business discussion up, with the raids, like we're gonna start doing them more often. I think now would be a really good time to switch to washing through businesses only, because most groups own at least one business, and I feel like everyone now, you just text the number, everyone has the number. You might as well create RP through businesses to wash your money, and then that'll go to more businesses being raided.
That is a good one. That's a good one. I think we should move that to another podcast, because I think that will be a big discussion, because we got to figure out how exactly. Yeah, we'd have to figure out exactly. I'll write that down for next podcast, actually, since we're just talking about this.
Yeah,
we can do that in Heist next podcast then.
Yeah. And Billy, not pink cage isn't the only thing that can be raided. We can raid pretty much everything. Yeah. And somebody's talked about car raiding. That is 100% there as well. If you're doing a bunch of different crimes in a vehicle. Be careful, watch out. Might snatch that up out of your garage.
Yeah. Okay, so we all agree on the reset every month then for the class 2 stuff?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay.
Someone say hi to the 4-year-old in the background.
Of the 4-year-old in the background.
All right. So just to reiterate, so what we're doing, I guess, with the raids with class 2 is that if you get caught at least 3 times using a class 2, or if you're part of the same group and we catch you in one scenario using multiple class 2s, that would be enough for a raid, and that resets every month. So
question about the group thing. How like crims aren't easy to say like, oh yeah, we're all in a group together.
Well,
like
that is going to be solely based off of what information we already have in GIU. So if we catch, multiple people, let's say from the ballas, and then we get their names, after we catch them, we get their IDs, we get their names. Oh, like, wait, we already know that all of these guys are part of the ballas. And then
I mean, unless we go to a shootout and the group says, yes, this is our property, after we arrest them and they were all shooting with automatics on the property. Like, that's a different thing.
I just hope people will never use classes anymore now, since they know it's more risky than it already was.
I mean, people should have been afraid.
Honestly. You shouldn't, honestly.
Yeah.
And then you would know, honestly, like, I don't think we could play it like we did with the professionals and have the warrant and raid within 30 minutes. But I think a lot of the time you would probably, you're going to know when you get caught, or if one of your friends get caught, let's say you were in a big shootout, right? And then let's say you're the ballas, you're in a big shootout, and then let's say 4 of the 5 people got caught. That one person didn't get caught, but knows that his friends got caught, and he knows that they all had class 2s. So you could be smart about it and then move your stuff from your mansion or whatever. So you would have a lot of chances to clear out your place before we raid. We're not. This is not going to be every single time we raid we're going to find a shit ton of stuff, unless we do it discreetly, and then we just we're like slowly gathering information, and then all of a sudden one day, boom, we pop in. We're raiding your motherfucking house, bitch.
Keep everything spread everything apart. Like, that's what
Yeah.
Subgroups do. They have multiple locations with multiple weapons spread out between everything.
Yeah. And I will also say this too.
If one place gets raided, you don't have to worry about the other.
I will also say this too, right? The professionals raid that we did last week was very a situation like that probably isn't going to happen again, because it was just
we didn't even need the warrant for that one, technically.
Yeah, we didn't even need a warrant for that, but I just wanted to go for the RP.
It was right place, right time, because Fuzzy Bear was in the city as it happened. We told him about it as we were processing all the individuals, and he was like, all right, go raid them. And it just happened. So, that's not going to happen every single time. So don't think that if you get caught in a shootout, from here on out, you're going to get raided while you're still in prison, because that's not going to happen.
Yeah. I definitely would like to give you guys a heads up, or not a heads up, but
a chance.
Give time. Give chance. Let there be a good battle or whatnot with cops and whoever's getting raided. So obviously it would have to wait until after they're out of prison. But I mean, even if you guys get like enough evidence where you don't need a warrant to be signed off on for a raid, I mean, if you still send one to DOJ to cover your ass, that'd probably be the best route.
How about putting people on parole? That'd be dope.
We would need more of, like...
I mean, technically, you could just say, put this person on parole, put a channel in the city worker Discord and say, if you arrest this person, they need to go back to jail. Like, it's not that difficult to do. Like,
what would the time and the fine be, though? Like, if you get caught on, when you're on parole and say you get, like, a speeding ticket?
Well, I mean, parole is where you're out.
No, I know that's what I'm saying. So, like, what would the fine and what would the time be?
You would just go back for the remaining time and fine that you would supposedly get. Like, you shouldn't need parole unless you like have the 9s.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing with parole and all that stuff is it also requires more DOC RP, which kind of lacking at the moment. So that's the only thing we have to.
I think didn't we do parole for Johnny Mac one time?
Yeah.
Well, they got their bail posted.
Well, yeah, no, it wasn't parole. It was bail. Yeah.
True. Yeah, I remember that.
Which, since you brought up bail,
we should start doing bail more.
Yeah, like, what do you guys want to really do that for? They have to pay their fine again to be put out on bail?
Half the fine, maybe? I don't know.
Well, when do we want to do bail?
That's something we can always work out.
We don't fine them when we put them in for the 9s. We normally wait until after the court case and then we do it, or until they want to make a deal.
So I guess that we could do that depending on the severity of their crimes. Like, let's say with Johnny Mac, he killed an officer, murdered someone.
Now,
so the bail will be pretty high if they want to do bail.
So when the life sentences, we haven't done one yet. It's basically like you cannot play in your character for 2 weeks. Maybe that's when we do like something like that. I don't know. Like we have to start doing that.
No, when you're already sent to prison, or when the court is done, all that, that's it. You're serving a sentence. You can't bail. The bail is when you're held for court.
Right.
So when you're being held, that's when you can post bail. And then that's like I said, if depending on the severity of the crimes, the bail could be like 50,000, 100,000. Like I would say, let's say for right now, like Johnny Mac is in jail for murdering Rhodes. I would say bail would be like 100,000 at least.
Yeah, I mean, he's out. He paid 50,000, 150 months, something like that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But no, there definitely should be like a way where the 9s, like, ask them if anyone wants to, like, you want to cover bail and then you're out until trial.
Okay.
But then if you get caught again doing like a bank or something like that, then you're fucked. There's no bail.
All right. Before we get too much off topic, so we talked about class 2s that can get you rated. What about drugs?
100%.
Yeah, I feel like the amount would be the discretion on that.
Yeah, the quantity and the type of drug. Because everyone knows, right? Fuzzy put in the update for a certain amount of weed to be legal.
Yeah.
I would say, depending on whether or not because I don't know, a lot of people don't know this, and a lot of cops don't do this either. If you're found with a drug scale, that's intent to distribute drugs.
Yeah.
Because that proves that you're measuring out the drugs in a specific amount, and you want to probably end up selling those bags. So I think it depends on whether it's coke, meth, weed, or in a couple of weeks when we get all these new drug updates, how much you have, and whether it's a 1 gram bag, a 20 gram bag. I think there's a lot, and it depends on like I said, just what type of drug it is, to be honest.
Okay, so do we want to raid off of people intending to distribute, or just caught with, because let's say we catch someone in a shootout and he has like 20 meth laced joints. Obviously, like, I don't know if that, I mean, it might warrant a raid, like maybe he has more he's just intending to use, but do we want to go off intending to use or intending to distribute?
See, 20 isn't even enough for me.
No,
I don't think 20. I also want to say something real quick, because Billy said, so scale is auto raid. No, that's not what I'm
definitely
saying.
not.
So if you have a scale, that just means that you're going to get the charge of intent to distribute drugs.
Yeah, I gotta go bite.
I see it.
Either that screwed up. Nope, that made it better. Yeah, because 20 meth-laced joints is actually nothing.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could keep a tab of how many drugs that we found on that person in general throughout a 30-day period, if we want to keep it all within a 30-day cycle.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you guys feel about it. We just keep tabs on how many bags, or if they've had bags, dolls, joints, scales.
One I have with that, and Crude's brought it up to me. It's like the vehicle strikes. Nobody really puts it in the Discord. Nobody takes the screenshots. it'll be exactly like the vehicle strikes. My opinion.
I just think the thing with vehicle strikes, because what's happening is we're posting every time we get a strike, we just post it, and then it's just, if you're gonna look for if someone had a strike, you're gonna have to scroll up and see if they've had one before, and that kind of takes time.
I think we could and I don't know, I could do this one day, or Zento or anyone wants to do it. I think it'd be better if we just had a pinned Excel document. Their name, make of the car, license plate, how many strikes.
Yeah.
That's actually what I'm working on.
Perfect.
I'm also working on the bot for the Discord. So basically, this way, it's like you'll be able to send in any information. People with access will be able to log it, and then they'll let you know how many strikes or whatever they have.
So I have a question about the strikes. So I got one on mine. But do you have to get caught? Do you have to get caught for there to be a strike? Because they didn't get my license or anything, and they just put the strike on my vehicle because it was registered.
Yeah, no, I don't think you have to get caught because
you do not.
So say someone else uses your car. Figuratively speaking, it was me driving. If I deserve a strike, whatever. Say someone else was driving your car and there's a strike on it. How would that work?
So if we catch that car, and then that person driving your car, and then we just we do with a strike, that's it, because it was used in a crime. It doesn't have to be you driving it. If anyone uses your car in a crime and they get caught in a car, like let's say he dumps the car and we find the car, that's a strike on the car.
See, now I don't like that because after 5 strikes they pull him. Like,
well, that's why.
And that was my argument over the entire thing as well, and that's what I was talking to Zento about. So the happy medium we decided on was, you need to actually go and meet with a cop in RP somewhere and be like, yo, my car is gone. Like, so
and at the active time it happens, not a couple days later.
Yeah. I want to counter the point that everyone else is making by saying, because right now crims feel like it's fail proof if you text the 911 from like a mile away from where your car was saying that your car was stolen, and then if they just think it's fail proof, and that we have to change that mentality.
I've never done that before.
The issue with that for me is, I mean, I was sitting there talking to like 3 or 4 different cops at MRPD, and this is what I brought up to you, Zento. And they came up to me, they're like, hey, you're the judge, right? I was like, yeah, what's up? And they said, hey, we were just chasing your car in felony evading. And I was like, well, as you can see, my car is sitting right here in front of MRPD. Had no idea how it got out or anything like that, but they were chasing my vehicle. So that's, I don't really like it like that. I liked how we had it, but
everyone was just simply behind the, if it's, it was stolen. That's all we would get all the time.
Okay, we could. I think I got a good solution for that. We switch back the strike system from anyone using it to just the person that owns it if they use it. But if it's stolen, no more texting the cops. You have to go into MRPD and file a missing car or stolen car report.
Well, how about this?
That'll stop the texting and thinking, oh, I just texted the cops, tell them it's stolen, that's it, we're good.
If it's stolen, because realistically, if it's, we're not stolen, if it's used in a crime, it's put in an impound.
Yeah.
For X amount of time. If it's caught in the crime and the person was part of it, that's the thing.
So yeah, the impound lot by the story store.
Part of it is the issue.
The cars like a couple impounded, it'll go there, but then they'll just go right back into the last garage you had them in instead of having to go to that actual.
No, they won't actually go to an impound.
Yeah, we can do that. I think that's fine. If we impound the car and then make the people want to actually go to the impound, pay like $500 to get it out.
Not even 500. Are you kidding me? Everyone has a lot of money.
Yeah, we can make
like
a lot more.
$5,000, $10,000, something like that.
Yeah.
No, what I'm saying is like, instead of going and just they having to go back to the garage or going down to the impound, because really it's not even. Anyways, that's a different story. Instead of having to just go back to the garage or whatever, they would have to go through the process of filing back for their car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of different ways to take care of it in RP, right? I don't want this one comment to run through in chat, but Maisie said, say I bought a car with 4 strikes, didn't know it had it, then I got a strike for whatever reason, my car was gone immediately. If you just bought a car, right, go to the police station and say, hey, I'd like to let you guys know I just bought this car. I don't know who the previous owner was. And then you can work it out in RP, right?
Yeah.
There's so many different ways you could do it. And right now, if your car gets 5 strikes and it was legitimately stolen, take it up with the judge, right? There's so many avenues that you can take right now. We're still trying to iron out all the details, but for right now, we're just trying to counter the mindset of Crim saying, you can't give me a strike if it was stolen. Because at the end of the day, if it was involved in a crime, be better at putting your car away.
So,
but I hate that mentality though about it, because like I said, I had multiple vehicles out, didn't even know I had them out of the same exact car, and there was nothing I could have done about it.
Yeah.
So like I get it, like some people need to be better about putting their vehicles away, but for I guess the minority, it's kind of, well, you're screwed over. Because like my car was $600K. If I get 5 strikes on my car and it gets pulled and you're not able to get it back, because that's realistically at the end of the day, that's what it is. Then I'm out of money and pissed off.
Yeah. Rose, you were gonna say something?
Okay. Yeah, I have something to say. Okay, so the thing about the vehicle thing is that it's kind of like low-key flawed, because you can bring out 2 of the same vehicle, right? So I'll have a vehicle out and I'll have it, I don't know where the fuck, in like Toledo or Sandy, and it won't show me how far I am from my car. It just says I have no vehicles out. And then I'm able to pull out another car, and then see my other fucking GTR rolling around the streets. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
So
you could have 11 and backgate or turn the engine off.
I don't mean to cut everyone off, but we were again getting off topic. So if you guys want to talk about this more, I think we could move this to the next podcast. If you want to go back to the drug thing, and so I can set like certain specific requirements to get rated off of drugs. Because we kind of got a little off topic here. So if we have more questions, more than happy to do car strikes next podcast as well. That's with the money laundering. I think that could be a good episode also.
One last thing before we do it.
Right.
Even if you get the new vehicle and it has 4 strikes already, the vehicle registrations come back to a different name. It's not going to be the same exact name. So, I mean, you should be good.
True. Yeah. It's usually off of names. Yeah.
Yeah, because you'll get the name off the license, and normally that's what's in the screenshot. I mean, if you want to pull a picture of what we do for the raid, the strikes now, real quick.
Yeah, here I'll show. This is what we do for strikes, vehicle strikes. So this is all we do. Put the name, so the name of the cop, the date, the plate, the owner, and then the violation, and then which strike it was. And then we just put pictures of the car. This is it. That's what I'm saying. Like. If I catch this car again, and then I want to make a strike for it, if I didn't remember that there was a strike before, I'm just gonna put strike out at 1 of 5 unless I scroll up and see, oh wait, it has been here before. So that's it's one thing.
Quick, use that info as meta.
Yeah. All right, so what do we want to do for drugs then? For sure, like something like if we catch someone with that 2 or 3 times. Raid 100%.
Yeah.
I would say do bags, not joints.
Yeah, 20 gram bags.
So we'll do bags. Yeah. How many bags do we want to say he got caught with, or she?
20, 30 plus, 25 plus, something like that.
I don't think people ever carry that many bags, though. I've never
I
caught
mean,
anyone
if
with
you're
that
doing
many bags.
houses,
that's what I'm saying. We're not just
either doing houses, or if you get caught doing the drug job.
Or if you're using bulk, and you're on your way to bulk, you get pulled over.
Yeah. Or if you're selling, like at any point.
But what about oxy though? So oxy's different because you don't get as much oxy as you do as like weed, coke, and meth.
Yeah, oxy. I don't think we should ever rate anyone for having a lot of oxy on them. Honestly, it's not that. I know it's like a legal drug, but it's not like a terrible drug. It's just.
It's also actually something that I'm going to be pursuing with EMS is getting it legalized, where EMS can issue like 1 or 2 oxy. Say you get in shootout or car accident and you need something for pain, technically, they can prescribe it.
Cool. Yeah. Like that.
But that's in the future.
There's a weight limit when pulling items from pin cage, makes it more difficult.
And I swear to God, if Bob's is selling oxy like he was growing weed in fucking pillbox, then he's just gonna get fired.
Wait, what?
Meta!
It's a joke. I just saw him in the chat, and I know he knows what I'm talking about.
That's so funny. Okay, so
That's almost as bad as
So let's
Samuel's heavy pistol.
let's
And
talk
plus,
about
that
what
was, like,
kind of drugs
4
you can
months
get.
ago.
So you can get the impotent rage. What is that? What does that give you? Because I've never actually opened one. What does that give you?
That gives you 21 gram
21
bag.
gram
Okay.
bags.
Yep.
Oh, AJ finally showed up. Welcome.
Who wants to join? Hello, buddy. How are you?
I just want to note something too. Dingo said in the chat, don't forget drug update coming very soon.
True.
Like things
So we shouldn't
might
really even
change.
talk about this.
Actually-
we're kind of wasting our time
True.
when the
If we're
update
changing
comes,
it, yeah.
we can talk about it again.
Because we're gonna have to revamp everything once these new drugs come into the city.
Okay,
anyway,
then
so.
we don't have to worry about drug raids right now. Then we can push that for some other time.
That doesn't mean start running around with 120 gram bags in your pockets, guys. Then
Yeah, because then that's going to be a case by case basis.
Yeah.
So.
So gun raids we already talked about, and Age, if you want me to fill you in, we decided that if you are caught with a class 2 at least 3 times, you'll get raided. Or if in one scenario we know that a group of people that are a group or a gang, they were all or most of them were using class 2s, that can also warrant a raid. So it's either if you're caught with a class 2 at least 2 times, or if you're part of the same group and in the same situation there were multiple class 2s used, then you could raid.
Yeah,
So,
at least 3 class 2s.
So if the gang's caught with these multiple class 2s, or if multiple people are caught with class 2s, what gets raided? Like
If we
all of their
know,
houses,
well,
or
no, well, most gangs do have a mansion like a gang house, right? I think we could get, actually no, that would be under one person's name though, so we wouldn't know.
So the issue with that though is we wouldn't know they have a house unless the same thing happened with the professionals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
and that's
You wouldn't know that they have one giant house to share. So it's one of those.
True. We wouldn't know.
Well, that's when you go and look at vehicles possibly. But obviously with GIU doing their thing, they're gonna know where some of the houses are. Like Eli, how you knew where the Mafia's house was located through GIU.
Yeah.
Say you had multiple of them caught, we'd just go
Then
and
we
raid
could
the mansion there.
Yeah.
So it's difficult, but that's where the cops have to come in and decide what they want to raid exactly.
Okay, so we can change it to if we catch a group doing it, we'll raid their house if we know that they have a group house. If we don't know that they have a group house, then we need to try to see if we need to try to that just furthers more investigation RP, and then we would have people like, oh yo, go stake around a bunch of houses, follow these gangs, see where they go, see if there's a house that you see all of them go to, and then boom, we can raid that after.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, for people that are confused, class 2s are autos. So heavies and 50 cals are class 1s. We will not be including those. So only autos.
Yeah, and like we always say, this is just our idea. We still have to bring it up with. Normally it's a support team, but now it's the 2 commissioners, so AJ and Zento, and High Command, and see what they think about it. But so this isn't guaranteed happening. We're just bringing up ideas. And
I just thought of that, and Alien Jesus said, because obviously me being a gun connect, I know that there are shotguns that are OP as fuck. So do we want to add like the bullpup shotgun, the double barrel shotgun if I end up selling it?
There is a heavy floating in the city, so
yeah.
almost. So
what would a shotgun be considered? So class 2s are technically what
Would
we
we-
call them now. Is
I
class 2 is
think-
autos only.
I think
They are class
is due to the power.
yeah.
Behind them that you're not gonna. There's an auto shotgun in the city.
Yeah.
That's not something you can buy at a store.
I would say anything that cannot be bought at a store should be upgraded to a class 2 personally.
But then you've got heavies and 50
Heavies.
cals.
And what's
Okay,
the point of the
anything
class
that is
1
not a
then?
But
pistol.
they're
then.
illegal
Anything not
currently, right?
anything that is not a pistol and is illegal is class 2.
Yeah.
And they put out a lot of power.
Yeah.
So I would like to see is class 1, 2, and 3. So shotguns can fall under 2.
And then we
3
move autos to
straight
3.
autos.
Yeah,
we
well
can.
then we have to update the MDT.
Stuff could be 2 because they're smaller, and then the big boy stuff should be 3s.
Yeah,
Like,
Vel,
Issue
there are
with-
normal shotguns and there are so the regular pump shotgun, that's not illegal because you can get it from ammunition. But there's other shot. There's the bullpup shotgun, which is fucked. There's the double barrel, which I don't know if anyone has aside other from me and maybe AJ. And then there's the auto shotgun. So these are all insane shotguns, honestly, because I've tested all of them and they're fucked.
Yeah, they're good.
But the issue with updating it to 1, 2, 3 might be all the charges that people already currently have
Yeah.
for like level 2.
That's fine, but I mean, to be fair though, you just adapt as we go. So
Yeah.
Or we reset the
as it says
MDT.
too, we can just kind of do like how we do the felony thing, where we reset the felony every Sunday. So
I mean, I would also hope that in the details of the MDT, if you're getting charged with possession of a Class 2 weapon, the person arresting you wrote what weapon you had in the details. I would really hope they did.
I want to see people write that they can't have a weapon, be caught with one because they're a felon because of that. Like, can I give an example I just told recently? Oh, Johnny Mack.
Yeah.
Just did his court case, his plea deal, and I told the judge that, or not the judge, his lawyer, that he's now a felon, so he can't have a weapon until the reset, which is Sunday at noon. And if he's caught with one, it's a felon with a weapon. So.
Yeah, I was actually going to bring that up about PD selling the weapons license instead of ammunition. But if that's how you want to do it, that'd be cool too.
I've seen that in other servers. I like that, to be honest.
It works pretty good.
Times to get their weapon license back. Then if the PD doesn't give you the weapon license, that means you have to go through Connects to get pistol ammo too, instead of like the SMG and AR.
Exactly.
I'm indifferent on that one because I think pistol should be available, because not everyone is going to try to go to a Connect to get something good. So I think pistol ammo should stay in ammunition.
Yeah.
No, it'll stay in ammunition, but if you don't have a weapons license, you'll have to go to a Connect, or you'll have to have someone go buy the ammo
like
for
an
you.
Illegal weapons license, or like Connects are selling weapon licenses as well?
No, like a
legal one.
legal weapon license. Like, say we were to change it to PD gives the weapon license out, and you just get caught with Quest 2, and you lose your weapon license. That means you either have to go to a Connect to get the ammo, or you have to have someone else go get the ammo for you. And I don't know. I thought that would increase your guys' RP, your group, but.
Okay, so I know that me, Seth, and Adrian were talking about this, about doing a form so people are able to sell and distribute weapons legally. And I think that's what whoever was talking, I think it was AJ, said that just now, about like having a form for people to buy weapons license.
Yeah, so
I think it's more so like a form to sell.
Yeah. What we talked about is people being able to sell stuff from ammunition, like they have their own shop with an actual license through the PD, and stuff like that, where the PD can also send them a list of people who can't buy weapons for that week. Like we talked about, the people who are a felon after a major crime, and then they can't be caught with a weapon on them. Stuff like that was a good idea. I thought that Amora came up with when she told me and Seth. So that's also something we can.
Yeah, and I mean, and Cozy brings up a good point there too, that it would allow people who have clean records to be the sellers, which is just like instigates and like, okay, just don't, be smarter criminals, this, that, or whatever, and then there's more investigation behind the scenes. Like, it's a spinning wheel.
I think Zen brought up that they would be required to have logs of who they sell to, and then they have to turn it into the PD once a week.
That would be great, actually. That'd be really good. Yeah, I've always been pro player-owned ammunitions. It's just another shop, but you're just selling guns.
Like Sons of Guns?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I wanted to RP that out for a while. Like, I wanted to RP out Chad actually going to talking to the PD and like seeing if I could sell weapons at like a store or something, and like turn it into like a 24/7 for, not like a 24/7 where anyone can just walk in, but like set up his own little distribution for pistols and shotguns and ammo and stuff like that. Not anything illegal. So I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also,
it'd be something that PD would be on top of. So like Connects wouldn't be obviously have one, because PD would be on their asses about it.
Unless you kept one Connect clean.
Hell
yeah. Okay, so to end off the raids topic, we need a raid mechanic or a duty, so that we don't need people's keys. Because what happened with the professionals, obviously we went up there, we couldn't get in because we couldn't lockpick in, all the doors were locked. So I think we need a duty that lets us just like how you breach houses that are being robbed, normal houses, same thing.
Yeah, I can say that it was not hard.
Yeah.
Wait, but doesn't only SRT handle raids?
Yes.
So then can't you guys just do
Well,
like
for the professionals, we did a combination of SRT, and then SRT was going to go into like neutralize any threats, and then
GIU was going to collect
and
the stuff.
sweep the house. Yeah.
Okay. So I'll add on that. So the original SOP I made way back in the day. So SRT will be the ones that raid. GIU will also be wearing tactical gear of their own, and their job is just to get stuff in safes.
And then document everything and all that. Yeah.
Well, SRT secures it. So the thing though about that is SOP is GIU can't engage by any means. So if all SRT members are down, GIU has to figure out a way to leave the scene and not, be directly involved with the fighting.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that's a, probably an in-character or a 5-0 meeting type of conversation, because we can have this conversation for 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah, is there...
We should get going.
Is there Yeah, we'll end it off. But is there there's a SRT... Is there a SRT duty?
No.
No? Okay, we'll make the raid thing an SRT duty.
I mean, AJ has an SRT tag in the 5-0 somehow.
Yeah, there's been a tag for a chat group we have that we talk about raids.
Oh, okay.
People we're looking at, so.
The red. Scopper friend T group.
Yeah, you could just simply make it like within SRT or GIU, right? It'd just be an additional thing to, instead of /cop duty, just do like, you go on cop duty when you're on duty, but then if you're going for a raid, it's just /GIU or /SRT duty. I don't know. It's probably a Zentho question, and it'll take time to set up and everything, because trying to create a duty that gives keys to everywhere in the city is a lot easier said than done.
Well, there's also a script I want to see if can be possibly tied into where it's like a battering ram for cops that pull out.
Yeah.
And if that can somehow tie to that, at least it would look better than a cop walking up and just, unlock door sort of thing. So it makes it seem like they're trying to raid.
Yeah, and you have to like actually hit the door like 5-6 times.
Yeah. Like a hot wire mechanic.
Now you see that's an actual reason to use the FBI open up.
And that's gonna look more towards like a Heka question, because he's better at making stuff like that than I am.
All right. Are we good on raids? Can I end it off?
Yeah, are we gonna do the
yeah, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'll end off. I'm gonna just recap real quick what I wrote down, and then I'll end off the episode, and then we can take questions from chat if people want to ask. All right?
We're not gonna talk about the transports?
We've already been going for like 45 minutes.
Yeah, we've been going for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, we've been going for a while.
Dude, Eli's been live for an hour, and we started like 15 minutes in.
Yeah.
We've been going live.
Yeah, we went a lot off topic, which is fine. I just wanted the conversation to go and talk about multiple things. But we can still talk about transports after the episode, but up to you guys. Or we can move it to next week. Yeah. All right.
Well, what do we have next week?
I added I think we can keep pushing the heist talk way later. It's fine. So we'll talk next week about washing through businesses and then transports, I guess. We can do that.
Also, give Dingo a sec. I don't know if Dingo's doing it here, if he's doing it in the lobby. He did say something that at the end of the episode, he was going to drop a hint to a location that had a safe full of a bunch of items.
Full of stuff. Yeah. You can do that.
I don't know if he's doing that here or if he's doing that in the lobby.
I'm not sure, but I'll end it off, and then let me just end it off for the YouTube video and all that. All right, thank you for everyone for joining us. Today has been a great episode. To reiterate, so what we decided is if you're caught with a class 2 weapon at least 3 times, you're gonna get raided. Or if we know that you're part of the same group and all you guys are caught in one situation using class 2s, that means also you're gonna get raided. And also the shotguns, the illegal shotguns, are gonna be part of the class 2 discussion. So don't think that if you have a shotgun you're not gonna get raided. No, shotguns, illegal shotguns, the shotgun that you can't buy from ammunition, if you get caught using that 2 or 3 times, you're gonna get raided. So again, thank you everyone for tuning in, and reminder that there will be a link in the description for a form if you have any idea/issue that you want us to discuss in the next podcast. The link is going to be, I'll put it in chat right here, and then it'll be in the link of the YouTube video. So just go in. It's anonymous, but if you want your name to be in there, just put your name at the end so we can talk to you about it. If you want to be in the episode or anything like that, totally up to you. All right, thank you for tuning in, and hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day.